What's going on, everybody? Jacob here from the Nutrition Store, and this is about to be another Sup Insider, except this Sup Insider is on the infamous creatine. If you're in the fitness and working out, or even in the supplement industry, you already know everything I'm about to say. You know that it's safe, you know that it's effective, and you know that it works well for just about everybody who takes it. This video is not for you. This video is for those of you who are questioning creatine's efficacy, safety, and should you use it regardless of the myths or misconceptions that you might have heard in the previous years. Let's break it down. What is creatine? Creatine is a molecule that is secreted from the kidneys, the liver, and less or so the pancreas. It's a molecule that is built from a collection of amino acids, and it stores high energy phosphate groups in the form of ADP, which converts to ATP. Adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, is what we recruit first and foremost when it comes to working out. We call it the power system in exercise physiology because it requires quick, immediate force to be used. Our bodies already make their own stores of creatine, and it can actually be found in sources of meat and fish in really high amounts, as well as other small amounts in foods. However, the issue is you're not going to get a sufficient amount from the food that you're eating, even if you are eating meat and fish. So what are creatine's benefits? Phosphocreatine, or ATP, is kind of the first source of energy that we recruit when we're working out. It would make sense that supplementing with creatine monohydrate or any other form of creatine regularly can improve that power system of training. You see, when you are training with powerful stuff, you know, cleans, squats, bench press, shoulder press, you are depleting these phosphocreatine stores relatively quickly. I mean, that's what they're there for. While we do recruit other energy systems like the lactic acid system, the aerobic system for oxygen, ATP system is going to take a few seconds to regenerate. But what if we already had another set of stores for creatine in our body? That's where supplementing comes in. If you're taking your regular amount of creatine daily, we have seen strong improvements in power output, even aerobic power output, as well as some preliminary data on cognitive function. I'm a huge fan of this because previously people wouldn't talk about the fact that parts of the brain region runs on creatine, phosphocreatine, ATP. So we're finding more and more literature coming out showing that creatine supplementation can improve cognitive function. This is really important. Is creatine safe? Yes. There's over 750 research articles that are supporting the efficacy of creatine supplementation. While there are some articles that suggest that creatine supplementation can lead to mild gastrointestinal distress, aka bloating, there is no other negative associations with it. The main reason that creatine gets such a bad rap is because creatine does increase creatinine levels in the body. When you get a medical exam or go to get a physical from your doctor, the doctor often looks at these higher levels of creatinine and associates it with poor kidney function, which is understandable for most people. But high levels of creatinine does not correlate directly to bad kidney function. It just means that your body has more of it. Obviously, if you're taking it, or taking creatine, the conversion to creatinine is going to be higher. It's not a bad thing. And out of 750 plus of those research articles on creatine supplementation, none of them have shown negative implications on kidney function. So that's a myth. Does it cause water retention? Well, yes and no. You see, when we are using creatine, it does cause somewhat of a intracellular water retention in that we are flushing more fluid to the muscle cells in order to allow for them to produce more energy. But extracellular water retention, like the one that you associate with after you've had a shit ton of pizza and then you wake up the next morning, you're like bloated and holding all this water, it's not that kind. So there's nothing much to worry about. If you don't believe me, because yeah, Karen, you watching this, who's scared of creatine for God knows what reason, let's just take a look at the literature. Before I continue, just know that the majority of the information that I'm sourcing here is from one of my favorite websites. It's called examine.com. They compile all available human research on supplements right here in front of you, and they list it in a way that's easy to understand, even for people who aren't used to reading scientific studies. I myself am versed in reading scientific literature. However, even from time to time, I like to just brush up by reading Examine. So check them out. How much creatine should you be taking? According to all available data, creatine monohydrate is the most researched and most well understood form of creatine. All the other ones simply don't have the data to support them like monohydrate does, or they usually are employed by the supplement industry to sell you something that's cheaper made for a higher price. 5 grams a day is the research dose. Now there is a build-up period to where it takes about 14 days for the muscles to saturate themselves with creatine. After about 2 weeks, you are going to notice the benefits of increased power output, improved muscular function, possible improvements in endurance, possible improvements in cognitive function, and according to a research trial I read about 3 weeks ago, possibly serving as an antidepressant. The point in me making this video is to hopefully educate you on what creatine is rather than just bashing you for believing in their misconceptions, and also to let you know that there's more benefits than just getting jacked. I mean, most of this research is done on athletic populations, not bodybuilders, right? So while it can help with muscular hypertrophy, gaining muscle due to an increase in volume under the weights, its primary focus isn't for that. It's for energy production. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning into this episode of Sup Insider. It has been a long overdue episode. I love you. We will see you later.